Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. And from the 242 smile.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to week 14 of our NFL wrap-up. And with you, as always, is Daniel and Oliver, and we're about to wrap up your week 14 NFL games, including the Cowboys and the Eagles matches. So to begin, I would like to ask you, Mr. Oliver, how was your week, sir?
My week was good. I was partly in Texas again for work and partly in Florida. So lots of work, but it went well. Hey, we're here. All we do is work, man.
Yeah, you got that right, bro. It's like you love Texas and you love the Cowboys or something because you can't get enough of them.
Yeah, and the Eagles keep giving me a reason to just, go straight to the Cowboys land. So,
Yep.
But we'll talk about that.
I think that's what usually happens when your team loses a lot, you know?
Yeah, okay, now you're pushing it.
I know. All right, so anyways, yeah, my week was all right. Did a whole lot of work on a corporate website, and not only that, like I came up with an incredible concept. Looks awesome. I'm very proud of it. So, hopefully it'll be live pronto, and people will be able to take a look at it, and it'll be awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Nice. Good stuff.
So the Eagles played this week. Who did the Eagles play, and what happened? Actually, I can tell you what happened. They lost, but the Cowboys lost too. So both of our teams are terrible at the moment. So take over.
No, I think the Eagles are more terrible if there's a word like that. So anyway, the Eagles played the Washington Redskins. This again was supposed to be a divisional match. The Eagles and the Redskins have a history, and we expected again for the Eagles to try to get just a little bit of some of the season back, but unfortunately, the Washington got the better off of the Eagles, and they lost. So the Eagles lost the game 27-22, and that, my friend, officially took the Eagles out of the playoff contention.
Yeah.
So it's been a very roller coaster week.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, roller coaster season, so to speak. But hopefully, they saw what their franchise quarterback can do, and I hope next season they can surround him with some
wide receivers.
Because this year was just horrible in the offense. No wide receivers, so hopefully they'll get that fixed, and I will see how next season's go. For the next 3 games, I guess those are just exhibition games just to make us feel good. But the season is essentially over for the Eagles, and that's very unfortunate. But anyway, it was a good season.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap now. But how about the Cowboys? What happened?
Okay, so I'm kind of disappointed in them. So if you remember from last week, we talked about it, and I was like, this could be the only team that possibly beats us, and I was right. So this team beat us. We scored 1 touchdown. I was like, can you believe that? 1 measly touchdown. Though the plus of that is that we played well because the score was only 10-7. So that means that our defense was also good. On the negative end, our offense was horrible, and it was lacking. Prescott had 165 yards with 1 touchdown, and that 1 touchdown, just one, was to Terrence Williams. He was the only wide receiver that was close to 100 yards with 76 yards. The only wide receiver. Des Bryant had 10 yards for the whole game. I was like,
Whoa.
Are you serious? That's why we lost. Passing, but anyways, Ezekiel Elliott had 107 yards rushing, which is usually pretty good, right? But the problem that we had versus the Giants was that he couldn't score a touchdown. Though that raises a couple of questions. Now, question 1. With the Cowboys playing 2 bad games in a row, is that an indication of how they'll play in the playoffs?
Hey, all I know is I hope we didn't have to talk about this.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, everyone is starting to talk about the quarterback controversy.
Prescott has technically 1 bad game. We lose. And then all of a sudden, put in Romo. He's our savior. No, he's not our savior. Prescott got the job. Prescott will keep the job. And Prescott will take us into the playoffs.
Promised land?
Yep, into the promised land.
No, but I think everything will be really determined in the next 2-3 games. If Dak Prescott comes again and plays just as he's played it for the rest of the season, we won't have a lot to talk about. But if Dak Prescott don't have good games the next 2 games, I think people will start questioning. In college, I mean, this is around the time that the college football season is ending, and they are going through those ball games and all that stuff, and everyone is asking, is that a factor in how Dak Prescott is playing? Mm-hmm. Because what he's used to at this time, they are pretty ending their season. So because the NFL has much of a longer season than the college football seasons, could that be playing a factor into how durable Dak Prescott is?
Right.
But we will see that again, in the next 2 or 3 games. But I can assure you that if he doesn't play well the next 2 games, everyone will be asking, man, how can we pull this off in the playoffs? And that's where Romo's name will come back. I mean, he's fresh. He's his experience, and but we'll see. We'll see when that time comes.
My problem with that is, so you put in a player who, honestly has not played the entire season, and you put him in a crunch like the playoff. You have not played the entire season. So why are you putting him in? I mean, why is he even in the talks? If anything, honestly, you go with Prescott, and you only put Tony in if Prescott gets injured because it becomes an emergency.
Not long ago, we had a similar situation in Denver last year, where Peyton Manning didn't play for a whole lot of games. I believe there were in the excess of about 5 games. Don't quote me on the number. Mm-hmm. But Brock Osweiler was actually the quarterback of the Denver Broncos. But then when it got to the postseason in the playoffs, Peyton Manning came back and played. At that time, Denver Broncos were actually winning games. But then the experience of Peyton Manning, just the assassin nature of Peyton Manning carried the day, and the Broncos won the Super Bowl, if you remember. So I won't be surprised if people start saying, hey, Tony Romo is well rested, is experienced in these situations, and we'll see. I mean, no guarantee it will work, no guarantee that it's going to play out that way, but I won't be surprised if actually someone mentioned that as a factor.
So you're comparing Tony Romo to Peyton Manning?
No, I'm not comparing Tony Romo and Peyton. I'm just comparing the scenarios of what happened in Denver and what might possibly happen in Dallas.
Who are you playing next week or this upcoming
Let me be very honest with you, I don't think I care anymore.
Well, I mean, we have to do a show, so we have to come up with something to talk about.
Well. We're playing the Baltimore Ravens. Again, now it's just an exhibition game because, our playoff contention is officially over. But, we'll see how the Eagles play against, the Baltimore Ravens in preparation for next year. So, yes. How about the Cowboys? Who are you playing?
The Cowboys are playing versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
That's gonna be a tough matchup. Jameis Winston.
Yeah, James Winston. So yeah, it'll be a tough match. That I believe if the Cowboys get back to playing well, that we can win. But if we lose, things get very interesting.
And I hope it gets really interesting.
I hope that we win and this whole entire thing is over. So that's all I can say. But anyways, peoples, we appreciate that you're watching us. We will talk to you guys next week. But prior to that, comment, like it, share it. And we love ya. Peace.
Somebody say I can't make it in life, then I tell them you lying. And even when the hope disappears, I gotta pray and you gotta keep trying. Keep trying.